Make sure that you're behaving today and have a good day. Hope you had all your work done. Make sure you have it out so that it can be checked. And whoever is running the video can hit pause so that people can get it out. And there are your answers to check it with. Again, you can pause this video so that they have a time to check it. And I'm going to do 3 problems from last night's homework so that you can have an idea, just kind of a refresher of what we did. I picked 3 that I thought people might be having difficulties with. So let's first take a look at number 8. On number 8, again, remember the goal is to isolate where this variable is. And since this is in a group like this, it's kind of in parentheses, so we have to undo the division that's here first. So to get rid of division, we're going to multiply both sides of this equation by 4. When I go to multiply both sides of the equation by 4, the 4's are going to cancel out here, leaving me just the b plus 11. And 3 times 4 gives me 12. The next thing that I'm going to do is get b by itself. I have to undo this addition. So I would subtract 11 from both sides, and I'd get b equals 1. Moving on, I think I skipped to number 16. We'll look at number 16 together. Remember, there's 2 different ways that you can do this. You could distribute this negative 11 through this parentheses. Or you could look at it and say, I see these parentheses are being multiplied, so to undo this multiplication, I'm going to divide. The larger these numbers are to work with, the better off you are to do the division first. So I'm going to divide both sides by a negative 11. It does make the negative 11's on the left cancel out, leaving me just the negative 12 plus v. And when I divide 297 by a negative 11, I get negative 27. And to get v by itself, I have to get rid of this negative 12. So I would add 12 to both sides of the equation. The 12's again would cancel out, leaving me just v. A negative and a positive, I keep the sign of the larger number. It's going to be negative. And a negative 27 plus 12 is a negative 15. So v equals a negative 15 for number 16. Again, at any point in time, if students need to see this, you can pause. Skipping to 19, and again, if I'm looking at this, I could distribute this negative 9 through the parentheses. That's one method. Or I could look at it and say, because the parentheses are being multiplied, I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides of my equation by a negative 9. I like this division method because it makes my numbers that I'm working with smaller instead of making them larger by multiplying. The 9's would cancel out. A negative divided by a negative would make a positive. And 9 goes into 90 10 times. To get m by itself, I have to get rid of adding 1. I would subtract 1 from both sides, and m would equal 9. Well, those are 3 from yesterday to just give you a refresher. Now, make sure you get a worksheet for today, and we are going to do 4 questions from that particular worksheet. And again, pause this until everybody gets a worksheet, and when everybody has a worksheet, we are going to start with number 2. Today you're going to notice something a little different. The first thing we should always look to see if we can do, we should always look to see if there's something that can be simplified. And you'll notice on the left side of the equation it says 6 plus 6p plus 4p. When I say simplify, I'm talking about combining those like terms. And in this case, you can see that these two would go together. So this 6 is going to stay just like it is, but 6p plus 4p becomes 10p. Once I've simplified whatever is in my equation, it really looks like the same kind of problems that we've been doing. The goal still remains the same. The goal is to get the variable by itself. I have to undo this positive 6. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides, leaving me 10p is equal to 10. And then I could divide both sides by 10, leaving me p is equal to 1. Remember that anything that we do like this, we could check. We can go back to the very original equation, 6 plus 6p plus 4p equals 16. And every place that I see a p, I could put 1 in its place. So 6 plus 6 times 1 plus 4 times 1 equals 16. 6 times 1 is obviously 6. 4 times 1 is obviously 4. 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 4 more is 16. So you can see that no matter how complicated the problem gets, we have the ability to check our answer. Again, remember you can pause the video so students have a chance to copy down all the work. Our next example is number 4. And again, with number 4, we look at both sides of the equal sign to see, is there anything that will simplify? Are there any like terms that we can combine? And I notice here that I have 5 minus 5b plus 2. 5 and 2 are like terms, so I can combine them. 5 plus 2 is 7. So I'd have 7 minus 5b equals negative 13.
Once we've combined these like terms, just like anything we've done before, we're going to get this variable by itself. I've got to get rid of this positive 7. I subtract 7 from both sides. Don't forget to keep this negative that's with the 5b. Negative 13 minus 7 more, they both have the same sign. I'd keep the sign and add. Last step, divide by negative 5. That's going to cancel out, leaving me just b. A negative divided by a negative is going to make a positive, and 5 goes into 20 4 times. So we end up with b equals 4. Remember, you could always check your work by substituting it back in. And again, you can pause this video anytime so that people have an opportunity to copy it down. On number 11.
Good morning, 6th grade teacher.
On number 11, the first thing we should look for is to see, is there anything that I can simplify? Are there like terms that need to be combined? I look, there's nothing on the left that I can put together, but on the right I have a negative x and a negative 5x, which I can combine. A negative 1 and a negative 5, when I put them together, would make a negative 6x. Trying to get x by itself, I have to undo this positive 1. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, I now have a negative 12 is equal to a negative 6x, remembering not to drop that negative that's attached when I bring it down. And the last step would be to divide by a negative 6. And a negative divided by a negative is going to make a positive, so x is equal to 2. And again, I could substitute that back in to see if the answer would check. Okay, last problem, and I chose this one because it has this 0 over here, and I wanted you to see the process is exactly the same. Nothing changes. The first thing we're going to look for is to see if anything would simplify. Are there like terms? And you can see I have a negative 4r and a negative 6r that I can put together. Negative 4 minus 6 more would be a negative 10r. R is not by itself yet, it's being multiplied, so I need to divide. It leaves me with 0 divided by a negative 10. Now I have to remember that any time I divide 0 by any number, it gives me 0 for an answer. And again, I want you to be able to see this one because it's kind of unique, 0 as being an answer. There's nothing wrong with 0 as an answer, but I want you to see that it works out, so we are going to check this one. I have a negative 4 times r, I'm going to replace that with 0. Minus 6 times r, I'm going to replace that with 0. 0 times anything is 0, so I have 0. Negative 4 times 0. Minus, and 6 times 0 is still 0. And obviously 0 minus 0 is 0, and I can see that my answer checks. Your assignment then is to finish the worksheet. And tomorrow we will go over it the same way as what we did today. I will hand pick a couple problems in which to go over, and all the answers will be on the board so you can see whether you've got them right or wrong. If you've got something else that you have a question on, you can certainly look at the key individually so that when you see that you've made a mistake, if you can't figure out where it is, you can look at the key to check for your own mistakes. Have a good day and behave.